How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie is coming. You just got a trailer dropped for it, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, to be perfectly honest, and I have been saying for the longest time, I have no interest in this. I'm not gonna go and watch it in cinema. I'm not going and critique it. I just don't care because, as far as I am concerned, there's no reason to make this movie. The How to Train Your Dragon movie series that they did is still relatively new, and in my opinion, was really, really good. There is no reason, no need for a live action version of it. None. None whatsoever there is any need for. And I watched the trailer, and I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think Toothless looks better in the animation than he does in the live action. I just don't think he looks all that good. I don't dig the whole story overall. Nothing. The guy who they have playing Hiccup, not interested, not a big fan. The whole thing isn't working out for me. Just doesn't look good. I will cover something just so that I have been talking about for a while, and apparently now it's kicking up storm. But let's get to that in a second. Basically, what they say is that the official synopsis for it reads like this. On the rugged Isle of Berk, where Vikings and dragons have been bitter enemies for generations, Hiccup stands apart. The inventive yet overlooked son of Chief Stoic the Vast, which will be played by Gerald Butler. Hiccup defies centuries of tradition when he befriends Toothless, a feared night fury dragon. The unlikely bond reveals the true nature of dragons, challenging the very foundations of Viking society. With the fierce and ambitious Astrid and the village's quirky blacksmith Gobber by his side, Hiccup confronts a world torn by fear and misunderstanding. As an ancient threat emerges, endangering both Vikings and dragons, Hiccup's friendship with Toothless becomes the key to forging a new future together. They must, together they must navigate the delicate path towards peace, soaring beyond the boundaries of their worlds and redefining what it means to be a hero and a leader. Now, all of that may sound really good, and the movie is coming out on June 13th in 2025, right? All that sounds really good and all of that, but we are also gotten information that they're going to be making changes to it. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, the things that they normally do. They're going to be doing some of that in regards to this. Now, one thing that has suddenly taken off is something that I have been talking about for the longest while. Look at this article here from Cosmic Book News. How to Train Your Dragon Woke, Astrid Race Swap. I did a video on this last year talking about this. And I said it then as I say now, I am not in favor of this nonsense. I think it's ridiculous. I think it needs to stop. Let's see what they have to say here. It could be RIP How to Train Your Dragon, folks, as a controversy has erupted online over the question if the flick is woke amid it learned Universal Pictures has possibly race-swapped the character of Astrid with Nico Parker, or at the least has changed the look of the character. Right, the first footage has been released showing off the characters. What is potentially alarming is that the live-action movie is from the same writers and directors of the animated movie who first made Astrid a blonde white Viking. Now, here's the thing. The reason why it works in the animated movie is because where it's located, Vikings are basically Scandinavian origin. There are no black people there. Despite what they tried to do, many of that Viking show they did where they literally race and gender swap this known Viking, but whatever. This is the thing. Now, as they say here, it's done by the same writers and directors of the animated movies who first made Astrid a blonde white Viking. I am not going to blame them, because I'm telling you this straight up. These people have no choice. They have literally no choice anymore. That's how bad it has gotten in Hollywood. They have literally laid out grounds and listen, you have to do these things if you want your movie to even be made, even be shown, even get awards. You have to do these things. If you have an all-white cast, you have to race swap somebody in it. Why do you think they have Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie? I'm not saying the man mightn't be a fantastic actor, he mightn't know what he has to do. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, the information came out that Kevin Feige is the one who said that the original cast is too white. They can't do these things anymore. They learned nothing from that Fantastic Four where they race swap Johnny. So when that failed, that whole movie was crap. But still, this is what they do. So the fact that they gone and race swap and especially swap how Astrid looks. They didn't have a choice in this. They have to do this. That's what they have to do. They have to do this. This is why you will not get another movie like Lord of the Rings, because as far as I am aware, the Lord of the Rings trilogy movie, even though I've never watched out Two Towers, so something's always interrupted, but I don't watch it. But as far as I'm aware, they didn't have any black people in that movie. And I'm quite sure nobody was in the cinema screaming, "Where are all the black people?" No, we watched the movies, we enjoyed the movies, we moved on with our lives. But no, this is the kind of crap that we're getting. This is it. They have no choice but to do these things. They literally get told, listen, you have to race swap these characters. If you want this movie to be financed, you want it to be made, anything that you have to do this. It's not to say that you have to blame the writers and everything. No, they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. This is why the Blade movie is such a freaking disaster. They don't have a choice. People keep walking away. This is the problem with it. It's Hollywood is the problem, not them. All right, we have to continue on. However, we see they might have caved to woke demands at the time of developing the movie by casting Nico Parker, who apparently is a person of color, as reportedly a mother actress, Stordy Newton, who has a Zimbabwean mother, is biracial with one black parent. Now, I talked about this before. Yes, she is light-skinned, but she is dark. She is a black person. She is a person of color. But that's not my point about it. That's not how Astrid looks. Astrid is supposed to be a white, blonde-haired, green-eyed girl. That's what it is. But no, you cannot do that. Like I said, they are basically told, listen, you cannot do that, period. That means you cannot do that. Regardless, Nico does look different than the animated version of Astrid, as she sports dark hair and eyes compared to the blonde locks and green eyes of the animated version. We do see they give Nico Parker blonde highlights for the movie, but why not make her entirely blonde to match the animated character? Likely in defense, you'll hear Nico Parker was the best person for the job. Yeah, that's their big defense. As they make they already said here, this is what's going on. That is their big defense. They always have three things that they say anytime that they race swap somebody. One, best person for the job. Best person for the job really embodies the heart and soul of that character. Two, we wanted to do something different, and we wanted to really give people a chance to see themselves in these movies. To see themselves. Kind of like that crap they did when they race swapped Tinkerbell in that god-awful Peter Pan and Wendy movie, where the movie was all about Wendy, and she was just an insufferable pain in the neck. And Peter Pan was an actual little psychopath who, if you didn't want to play with him and forget all about your parents, he'd send you out in the middle of the ocean to die like a dog. Yeah, that made sense. They race swapped Tinkerbell and was acting like everyone will be okay. And even the doctor's line about the lost boys having girls and yeah, Wendy, they're like, if you're lost boys, why are some of you girls? And you're like, so? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Of course it matters, idiot. That was the point. But no, that's what they were doing. This is what they do. And then third, of course, what they will do is, once you point out that, you race of a character, called you a racist, a bigot, and this and all kind of thing, just to make it up. That's what they do. Like I said, the whole reason that they do this in this movie, whole reason that they race up, is because they don't have a choice. If you want these movies made nowadays, unless you have an independent studio that is willing to make it correctly when it comes to Hollywood, it's infiltrated by these activists. What telling them, if you want your project made, you have to do what we tell you to do. Because as far as these people are concerned, black people did not exist before 2017 when they invented them. That's how they look at it. That's how they look at it. If How to Train Your Dragon is indeed woke, you can expect the flick to elevate Astrid while making Mason Thames, the guy who played Hiccup, or any of the other male characters look like complete imbeciles and fools and jokes done at their expense. And when the actual original How to Train Your Dragon movie, Astrid was probably the most capable warrior among the new recruits. The others were kind of idiots, but it was done in such a way that it actually made sense, and it was funny. I don't gonna play off that way if they say to go down that route in this movie. But basically, all of this, because all of this, I get something else, but all of this kind of this to me, I have no interest in this movie. None. As far as I'm concerned, it's just potentially nonsense. I have watched all three of the How to Train Your Dragon movies plus the animated series. I like the movies, the series. Okay, I think the third movie, yeah, it could have been a little better, but it wasn't terrible. Understand me? And I'm good with it. I am good with it. There's no reason to do this live action How to Train Your Dragon. That's like there's no reason to do a live action Moana movie. None. You literally just shooting yourself in the foot doing that. But again, Hollywood's kind of getting tired of people are calling out this woke behavior. Because then you want your Mark Kern, CEO and designer, the former team lead of the original World of Warcraft and producer of Diablo 2 and StarCraft, chimed in on Twitter. Kern's comments follow the gaming industry getting decimated due to the inclusion of the woke agenda, particularly with Assassin's Creed Shadows and more. Yes, let's put a 6'2" black man in ancient China, Japan, sorry. And when somebody gets assassinated, nobody should point him out as suspicious. Nobody. Kern, who goes by the handle Grums on X, says we must reject the DEI agenda and goes over why. First one, he has a game/movie studio randomly insert person of color into historically white culture for no good reason. Stunning and brave. It's not stunning and brave, it's stupid and ridiculous, and people know exactly what you're doing it for. Next, people noticing the pandering called racists and phobes. I get that all the time. I get that all the time. People call me racist. People must call me racist like about 7 or 8 times for the year already. Same thing when it comes to homophobe and all kind of thing. But it's not racist, it's not homophobic to point out the truth, but people don't want to hear that. And you have these shills who will defend it to the end, even though they know it's crap too. Next, articles come out saying, well, actually there were historically people of persons of color in this white culture, and then they were really kings and queens and all an epic samurai, etc. Then next, Wikipedia and other fact sites quickly edit and revise articles to reflect this new reality by retconning actual history. Yes, let's talk about the Queen Cleopatra series that they did, where they made Cleopatra black. And when any country that she comes from says this is ridiculous, they call the entire country racist. Or let's not forget Assassin's Creed Shadows. You have Yasuke, who was historically just some kind of retainer. If you want to do a fantasy thing of it, or you could do that, but no, you want to make it historically accurate, and then tell people, well, if you don't like it, you're racist. This is why people get sick and tired of these things. They see what you're doing, you're lying your backsides off, and you don't want to stop. That's what it is. You're doing this to yourself, and people are getting sick and tired of it. Absolutely sick and tired of it. Finish up here. The actor and movie are probably fine unless the writer's room is infected. They expect Astrid to be strong woman and Hiccup to be crying all the time. Oh God. Explain Kern. That's not the point. The point is the actual erasure of history to support flimsy fictional narratives and an evil attempt to gaslight you and erase the past. There were no black Vikings because they were of Scandinavian birth and descent today would have been white. But you can't have an all-white cat because apparently the woke infestation is so bad that needs to keep happening. He added it's Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows all over again. Yeah, wouldn't doubt that at all. John Trent of That Park Place also chimed in. DEI casting means that it has injected DEI into the story too. Close your wallet, said Trent. Kern replied, you are likely. Yeah, when people walk out from it, let's take their money, put it back in their pocket and go. They will attack them and call any worst things possible. Another user added, it doesn't matter if there were black Vikings or not in the past. What matters is that in the animation, Astrid is blonde and white. If they ever make a live action adaptation of Naruto, I won't want to see him with black hair because he's blonde. Simple. I'm telling you, they make a live action version of Naruto, which apparently is in the work, and I've heard it's terrible. Literally, what I've heard is worse than that Dragon Ball Evolution crap that they did. Because these people who write it don't know anything about it. So they just want to use the name to push their agenda. That's it. Kern replied, that's the best argument. I agree with Astrid. Another user also said, Astrid being a strong female wouldn't much differ from her animated counterpart. Yes, that's it. But I do worry that they will make it about her rather than the MC, about her being the MC rather than Hiccup. Let's see how this plays. Like I said, Astrid was the most competent among the new recruits. But the way they did it was actually really interesting. But I don't have much hope for them doing anything here. That's just a fact. Kern replied, yes, she was very strong, but in a good way. MC syndrome would be the part I worry about, agreed. As pointed out by Anna, aka That Star Wars Girl, the studio could easily had Nico Parker go full blown and look like the real version of Astrid, but obviously chose not to. Even if they had her go full blonde and thing, I don't really think she looks much like Astrid. As far as I'm concerned, get a white girl to play the role. That's what I'm saying. That's who the character look like. Get a white girl with green eyes to play the role. If you have to have her wear a wig, fine, but just be sensible about it now. But this is what's going on. So honestly speaking, saying, is it woke now? I don't really know. I don't really care. I have no interest whatsoever in watching this. I just not interested at all because as far as I'm concerned, race swapping Astrid is bad, yes, but there's no reason to make this movie. None. The animated version is still good, still with the name, and they just need to stop making live action of everything. It keeps ruining them. Leave it alone. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like it, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.